Hang on 1 second. Oh my goodness. How are you all today? Let me see if this is the right size. That's fine. That'll work. Hey, I hope you guys are doing great today. And we are going to get started here in just a minute. And we are going to make some fun envelope pockets. When you come on, say hello so I know you're here. And I am going to send us out. I gotta do something else here so I can see comments. That's always the thing, right? Okay, I think I got it. And let me see. I didn't have myself turned off. You guys, I wasn't going to show myself and I didn't have my circle turned off. That was kind of scary. Everybody has those days. I didn't have time to get ready and get myself ready for that, you guys. That was kind of funny. Let me see. One more place I want to make sure that we get to real quick. I can't even find it. I don't even know. What am I doing here? Well, I usually find it super easy. Well, I guess I'll just have to skip that right now. I can send it out later. So that is, we'll just leave it at that for now. Hey there, Susan, Carol, Nancy, Deborah. I'm good today. How are you guys doing? So we are going to make some fun things with envelopes. So I made a little, here's kind of my little prototype. And I mean, I just did it to kind of see how that would go. And there's some things I would do different about it. That's supposed to be a little chimney up there. The heart at the top. There's not enough stuff going on up here. But I'm going to show you how to get started. And you can take this any direction you want to. Now, you guys, I was kind of working on this one to go in this journal that I was working on last week. And here is this little bird that was in here. So this is supposed to be a little bird house, you guys. This is this little entrance here. So I don't know what else I'm going to do on here. This ended up being so plain up here with, you know, using text down here. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. Hey, Katie, how are you? So, you know, like I said, maybe that is just my, you know, my starter one. This would, if I would have cut my heart a little skinnier, I think I would have been more happy with that. But the one we're going to do right now is going to be more like just a, like a little house. So this was my birdhouse, and I wanted it to go somewhere in here because we've got all these wildflowers and everything, and I just thought that would be so cute. Now, one thing I will mention before we get started is this would be a floating pocket, meaning we're not going to attach it anywhere. So it could go into a pocket. You could stick it into a belly band. Like here would be a pocket here, and we could stick it in here, maybe. We could stick that in there, and then, you know, it'll be fine. Now, I do want to point out that if you were going to glue it down onto a page, you know, then this part sticking up above your fold is going to cause a problem. So you would have to have it down onto this section. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to open it. Does that make sense? I'm sure you get that. Yes, you could stencil a design on there, and that would be a good idea to save that. I agree. Thanks for that idea, Katie. Hi, Sue. Yeah, I think it would be fine. Now, some of this was the, you know, from the printables. And I just, like I said, the bird, I cut him out. This was from a scrap. And I just, you know, I just cut a circle. It's not too much of a circle. And then this was just something you know, the heart, I clipped out of another piece. But then I've left it blank on the back because you could do some journaling on the back. And this would be a good place that you could add a little stencil on here too, because you'd still be able to write on it. So I think that's an excellent idea. So let's get started and let me show you how to make one. And you know, you guys, like I always say, I like to give you kind of the basics and let you run with it, because everybody has such good ideas on their own. Now this is just, I found a whole bunch of these number 10 envelopes, which is just a business size. And I found them at an estate sale, just a bunch of them. Now, let me tell you what I did here, and I'll tell you I did something wrong first. This stuff is so old that the gummed part is not sticky or gummy at all. So what I had to do is, glue it down. But the first one I did, I glued all this part and turned it down. Well, guess what happened? It stuck on this part, and then I needed that part to be loose. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I did another one. Hey, Sue, how are you? So this time what we're going to do is we're only going to put it on the flap. So only this flat part, and maybe even only down to where the gummed part is, and I've already passed that. But that way you know that it's going to be, it's not going to go over where you don't want it. So I'm going to tuck that in and then just press that down. Now, I don't care. This is kind of really discolored along here, and I don't really care because we're going to just use that as the inside, and we'll cover it up with paper anyway. So the back part is perfectly fine, and we'll use that for our journaling area. Okay, so let's get started. And I'm just going to trim a tiny bit off of here, off of this edge, so that it's open. Okay, so we'll just toss that. And now, be careful the things that you toss, because some things you might want to keep and be able to use. Now what we're going to do is, this is going to be our roof. So I want to make sure that I have room for like a door and a window down in here. So I don't want it to be too long. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold it like this. And, just go ahead and grab your bone folder and, make a real good crease along here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a pair of scissors and we are going to snip along the side of the envelope. Now, this is a part that's going to show. So the one I did, I really kind of messed up, and I was able to save it with paper. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when I did this, I ended up with a part here, and my envelope, I made some kind of real jagged cut in here, and so the envelope it looks really awful when I opened this flap. And I thought, well, we'll just cover that up and make it about the length of this, or the width of it. And so it covered up, so it's got paper on both sides then, and it didn't really matter. So we're just gonna slice into our envelope. And I'm going to cut a little bit farther down, like, I don't know, like about a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch down. And just kind of be careful. See, now this one is, that is already, see, and this is what I was saying, and this is exactly what happened before. Now I've got these edges that are kind of not so great. Can you see that? See what I've done here? It's kind of got some little ragged edges, but that's okay because we're just going to deal with that. Now pull this down. The reason we've gone down farther is we're going to pull it down a little bit farther, and then we've got a nicer opening right here. Okay? And then just cut it off at that section. So just trim it at your fold. And you guys, we're going to do lots of scissor work here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. So now when you fold that down, then you've got this area that is going to be open like this. But I tell you what, this one, I'm like, that is like so deep. So this is what we're going to do this time. On this one, we're going to see where this folds, and we're going to mark it in a little bit higher up. Right in, well, I do not know what has happened to my pencils, you guys. So I'm going to mark it there, and I'm going to line it up on my grid mat and put it on a line I can find above and below. So if if you line it up on one thing, so I'll line it up on this line, and now my blue line is the same, okay? So I can go ahead and trim this even further. I'm going to use these. They might not be so thick. They might be a little bit easier to deal with. So now I'm going to cut it a little bit further into here. And just down to that mark. And I'm going to fold it there, and then that'll give us a place to cut that section. Okay, is that making sense? Thanks for jumping in, you guys. Hi, Estella. Deborah, I'm not sure if I said hello to you. Hi, Linda. Okay, so now we're just going to cut along here. Now, we could have gone ahead and papered all of this together, and that might have been a better idea. But that's okay. So I'm just going to use, let's see what we've got over here. I'm just going to use some of our normal junky stuff. Let's go ahead and use some more book page. Now this time I don't actually need it as long as I did before, because I am I don't know why. I don't even know what I was going to say. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut that along those lines so we know what width we need. And it actually could be just a tiny bit short, more narrow than that. Did I get it a little more narrow? Yes, I think so. We'll flip this one and do this one over here. Tell me, you guys, do you like it when some people do all the decorating, all the everything, and I know I don't really do that all the time. Do you mind when I do that? Because actually I do it because I want you to think of, other ways to decorate it yourself with what you have. Okay, let's do this. And if you want to, now I'm just going to bring it clear as close to the edge. If you wanted to, you could certainly put it, let me put this back on here, because I'm gonna glue all of this at once. You could certainly, I don't even know what I was gonna say. You guys, I'm so goofy. Hi, Diana. How are you? Diane, not Diana. Okay, so you know what though? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my glue on here. Then I don't have to worry about where it is on that other little piece of book page. Oh, I know. I was saying, do you mind if I do that? Do you like it when I do that? Or would you rather see me, do everything, all the decorating and everything? I'm just curious. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do the decorating. But with some of the stuff like this, I don't know what you have. And I like you to kind of think outside of what I'm doing. I like to give you the idea and let you think about it. But I know sometimes it does help if you see people do the whole thing. And you guys, this would be perfect if you have done any kind of, jelly prints. This would be a lot of fun to do with that. Okay, so we are going to line it up here, the bottom, and it didn't line up. It didn't stay where I wanted it. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You could, if you wanted to, leave a little border. That was what I was going to say. Leave a little border around the edge. Okay, so now I can tell where this needs to fold here. And then we can snip that. And I didn't have to do a bunch of measuring, right? Whatever you do is fine. Sue, this is why I love you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, some people enjoy seeing the embellishments. So this way, let me turn it this way. I can't get all the way in there with my tiny scissors. Okay. There we go, and now I can just clip off this. You guys, I need to step over here for 1 second. I'm not gone, but I had to get a different little hole punch out because I still have not found my 1-inch hole punch. It's hiding somewhere good, I tell you that. I know that much. I wonder if I can do both of these at the same time so that they're even. Who knows? Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. And if you turn your punch upside down, and then you can see where your punch is. So I'm going to put it here and kind of line it up and put it, kind of eyeball it to the middle. Punch that out. Look how tiny they are. They're super tiny, but at least it gives us, you know, a little bit more idea that they're there. Now, this one has got to be just a hair smaller on the edges because we're going to now tuck this down in here to be another pocket. So I'm not sure. This might be some trial and error as we do this. Go down the sides. Because now we're just going to make this a double pocket. There, that's not too bad. So we'll put that in there, but not yet. We're not going to do that yet. We want to put another piece of pretty paper along there. Let's go ahead though and add some ink on here. And I'm still going to use some of those papers that I had used in that journal, because it doesn't have to be a birdhouse to go in that journal, right? Not really. And we'll just give it some good inking. Martha says, don't change how you present. She enjoys watching and embellishing. Gives you ideas. Yes, I know. That is true. I do sometimes. I do sometimes. Okay. So we'll just get a little bit of inky dinky doo here. Oh, I guess I didn't even need to do the bottom. The bottom part's going to be hidden in there. It's only going to stick out a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, so let's find a little paper to go inside here. And let me see what I've got. Since we've got all of these were extras from the other day, and I'm just going to go ahead and use these because I know it will be, oh, here's a nice one, because I know it will coordinate and be the right tones to go with the rest of the journal, right? You guys, you know, when you use things that you like and colors that you like a lot, it can really be helpful. It's kind of like clothes. When you stay in with a bunch of clothes that are, you know, colors that you like, it becomes easier to build a wardrobe because you're still, you know, you're getting the colors that you like. And then everything begins to work together. It's kind of magical. Okay, I need this to be a little bit wider at the top. All right, let's mark along here. So we can just slice it off where we need to. And I'm not sure. We'll see if it'll slide in. We might have to trim a little bit off. Probably a tiny bit. It's nice to have a paper trimmer that will, you know, cut minute bits off. I tell you that. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Look at that. Look how nice that coordinates, you guys. Isn't that pretty? And I don't need all of it. I don't need that bulk. So let's go ahead and Let's trim it about here. Don't you love my exact measurements? Let's do it about here. Hi, Dana. Rhonda Ann, hello. Hi, Ann. How are you? Okay, so we've got that. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and slide it in here. Kind of line it up, and now I'm just gonna fold it loosely back over here, not making a real heavy crease. And whatever kind of, you know, I prefer liquid glue. It gives you a little bit of time for some wiggle room. This is that reptile glue, and no more than I use on here on these with this tiny needle nose applicator tip. It dries pretty quick. And for those of you, I know that, you know, some of our crafters talk about making sure that it is like, that it has a neutral pH, and this does. Now I got that a little bit too narrow. That's okay. It could still hold some goodies. And I want to put it down in there kind of far. So I'm going to put it on 3 edges here and kind of tuck it in. Right like this. And kind of make sure it's kind of straight. So now I've got this short pocket here, and then we're gonna, it folds clear up here. Okay. So now we've got a double little pocket, so it's not so hard to get. This is a more manageable size pocket, I feel like, than what this one is. And I could still make this a smaller pocket because this is clear out. These are the edges of the envelope. So I could trim it down here and kind of do the same thing as we've done here. So that's, you know, I think there's enough things that we'll be able to do to get this, to save this one, right, you guys? Okay, so now we've got that. And so we want to do something for the top. Let's see what we've got here. How about some music paper on here? Where is it? Where is it? I know it's here. Here's some. Oh, this will be cute. Let's use this for the roof. It's from a hymnal, and it is the song "I'll Fly Away." And wouldn't that be cute? Well, no, that was for the bird one. I got the bird one on here. Now I can't. You know, you get something in your brain and you just keep going back to it. Okay, I don't need flying away. Let's use just plain music. This is from some kind of piano thing. And let's see. And then sometimes I don't mind putting things on sideways. I've told you guys that before. I don't know why. I kind of like it sideways, but I do like it better this way. You know, and there's no rhyme or reason sometimes for the reason that we like things, right? Who knows? Okay, so let me mark this so I know where to go. And I might even just run it around the back a tiny bit. It'll give like a little decorative edge to the top. I like that idea. Let me make sure it's straight. Okay, let's try that. Let's give it a whirl. Deborah, you like watching all the things. Me too. Me too. Okay, so gotta find where my marks are. Okay, there's one. Well, that's a score blade. I'm not going to get much cutting done with that one. Okay, and then right here, I think. Okay, let's try it. See how it is. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to put this here though, because I like the little, I can't even think what they are. I know. What are the little things at the beginning? Somebody help the old gal out. What are those? Is that a treble clef? Hey, Carol. Let me put it more on the edge too. Make sure we get it all down here. Yes, thank you, Carrie. Yes, Lori. Okay, that, see, it finally came to me. That's some of those words we don't use all the time, and then you're just like, what was that called? Okay. So now we've got that down. So we've got our two little pockets, and there's our top. And let's go ahead and add a little bit of shading. You know, once you start shading, then you just can't stop, right? You just have to keep on keeping on with the shading so it all blends together. But this is not, you know, and it's a lot of these pages, you know, it's just interesting how quickly the paper starts to get this. Now, you know what? I'm not going to go to the back. I'm just going to leave that kind of crisp and clean back there because I don't think I'm going to maybe ink that whole thing. So that doesn't make sense to do it there to me. So I'm just going to do the front. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, what are you guys doing? I know some of you are off. I know, I think Carrie is off for summer. I think she works at school. She's off for the summer. Who else has summer times off? Or maybe you're retired. Let's see. Now let's find something pretty to use, like just for a, and it, you guys, it just doesn't matter. At this point, we're just going to be chopping stuff. And we're not going to really measure. Well, although I do need to kind of know how big this needs to be. You can use your trimmer, or you know what, I'm just going to use my scissors because I don't really mind if it's completely straight. It will just add to the wonkiness. And let's see. Let's use that for size. Okay, that's a little big. Let's do it a little bit. Sue says she's retired. Sue, you worked at a school too, didn't you? Doing something, if I remember right. I think you did. I tell you, you know, my daughter who lives here, she ended up with a job at school, and she works in the special education department. So funny. She says, who knew she'd been training for this job her whole life and didn't even know it. And working at a school would be the last place any of us would have ever thought she would be. Life has a funny way of preparing you and dropping you where you need to be, right? Oh, Linda's a retired school teacher too. Yeah, Sue retired. Yes, I remember that. Oh, I don't know if I've got my bling over here to make it like a little doorknob, you guys. I think my bling... I've been trying to clean up, you guys. And you know what happens when you try to clean up? It gets worse. And I tell you what... It is kind of a disaster zone. Oh, Martha's retired. Linda's retired. Okay, so let's put this here. Now if we leave it to where we can see the little number, maybe that could be its house number is 179. Except I like it lower, so I'm going to put it down lower. But that would have been cute. Where's my glue? There it is. Martha's going to be journaling. You know, the fun thing about junk journaling is you can just do all kinds of stuff, right? I always laugh saying most of my my junk journals, put that in quotation marks, most of mine doesn't look too junky. It's just like, I don't know, I guess I had too many years of trying to be neat and tidy with scrapbook pages and things like that, writing cards, things like that. Okay, let's find something and let's make a little window. Oh, look at this cute little butterfly. I didn't even see that. And so now you can do circles. You guys, my circle, it is just driving me bonkers to not have any idea where my 1-inch punch is. Let's see if this would be too big for a window. That's kind of large. You can always find circly things for a window. There, that's not a bad size. Let's draw around that somewhere and use that for a circle guide. Let's see. Let me see if I can find. If we do, well, that would be kind of fun. Oh, let's do it anyway. Let's kind of trace around here, and then we've got. Oh, look! I can't even get it around a circle. I can do it. I know I can. Close enough, you guys. We'll just use that for a window. We'll just do a circle. You guys, you could do whatever you want to on these. Any kinds of papers, any kinds of borders, whatever you want to do, any colors. But yeah, I tell you what, using some of the like jelly prints, if you make any of those, that would be super fun. So here we've got, let's put that little window down. Let's give it a little ink. Because I don't want to go back and try to ink. I can do straight lines, and I've shown you guys how to do that. Just put another piece of paper on and kind of mask off what you don't want inked, and then just do it like that. But circles are harder. I do not want to forget to ink the circle, because that would not be fun. Yeah, Sue, my goodness, 27 years. I tell you, I bow down to all of you for working in any kinds of things like that. Oh, Sue, you worked in a school district too, right? It was your third and final career. Oh my goodness. Okay, now then, you can also, you know, you can cut things out. This one that I did before, all I did was I took a piece of music paper and I doubled it so that it was a little bit more sturdy. And then I just hand cut this little scallop out to be kind of the eaves on there. Now, you don't have to do that. You could just use, you know, your trim or whatever. You don't even have to do anything if you don't want to, right? Now, I'm going to try, let's see, I think I've got a tiny marker. Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Let's see, I thought I had a teeny tiny Sharpie or something. Oh, I don't. Oh, I do not have a Sharpie. What happened to that one? Okay, I see one and it's big. I see another one and it's big. that's not it. That's something else. Well, here's a ballpoint pen. Let me see if it writes. That's blue. Oh my word. Is my regular ink pen blue? No, it's black. Let's just use that. Okay, so let's go around and let's just kind of go around to give it some definition. And you know, one of the things, if you like to doodle, you can just kind of do some other little fun marks, like little zigzags, little dots and dashes, whatever you want to do. Oh my word. And there at the end, I had my pen went over the edge and did an ugly mark. What can I say? Let me bring it in a little bit closer, you guys. I'm sorry. So let's just make this like it's a little window, and let's just draw a line. You know, it can just be like, just like the little houses that you drew when you were a kid. I guess I need to go here. If I follow this line across, that's one thing nice about using text paper or things with lines on it, because it kind of helps you with a guide. Okay, so there's my window, and I'm just gonna make it nice and messy. You know, if you make it messy on purpose, it looks like it was supposed to be that way. Oh my goodness, this isn't high enough to do anything. Well, you know what? Well, like I said, let's make it look like it was supposed to be messy. Let's give a little zigzag there like it was supposed to be sewn on there. How about that? And you know what? And here's the other thing. Instead of trying to go along the edge of this, I could have done it on the inside edge. But now I started this. So we'll just kind of do that. Get it down there. But I think having little things that are pockets or places to journal, I think those are important to have in there. So this is a much lighter color than down here, and I think that's fine. And you guys, I just don't know if I've got anything to use. My fun clear bag with all of my, oh, here's something, let me see. Well, it'll give us something, right? Let's use one of these. I wanted to use kind of a bead or something. Let's see. We'll use the pink because then it kind of goes, this dark pink, it'll kind of coordinate nice with that flower. So let's do that. I'm just going to stick it on here. There. So we got our little doorknob. If you can find some other numbers, let's see, here's a number. This one just says 20. Let me look at a book page over here and see if it's got a higher number. Here's 367. I'm going to cut this out. And give it a house number. I like to use numbers and words on things. How about you guys? Let's see. Sue is telling us some good story. You were a nurse, a medical office manager, and then you worked at the school district. Hormones and Nikes. Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth? Take it outside. Oh, I tell you, my daughter had some issues with some kid. He was trying to, he thought he was gonna, come out ahead, and he did not. and he got in a lot of trouble, I'll tell you that. And she really doesn't. She has a background, a varied background in a lot of things, you guys, and they were so fun. She actually had gone part of the time she was in special ed in school, because in high school, but it wasn't until she was there. Oh shoot, get that off of there, get that off of there. It wasn't until a lot later in school. Oh, now you're gonna see. Now we got to use the trick of doing it afterwards. We found out that she was dyslexic, and the people that we had gone to for testing for a number of learning things, they said that she actually had developed a lot of coping skills on her own, and that she probably was trying harder than a lot of other kids that didn't have problems like that. And so the lady, when she's sitting down with us talking to us at the end, she goes, she says she's probably heard over and over, if you would just try harder. And she says she's probably tried harder and put more effort into things than a lot of the kids in the class. And these big old crocodile tears are coming out, and I thought, yeah, hadn't we heard that over and over? It's just so sad to know that people are trying and they've got some issue that has never been identified. And so the only way that they could give her any special things or work with her was to put her in special ed. And then at that point, then she went over to a alternative high school and did some work over there. And it all worked out. But in the meantime, she waitressed for many, many years while our little girl was young. And then when we all moved to Denver, she went to school and became a licensed massage therapist. Oh, I couldn't even know how to say that. And then after that, when she moved back to Minnesota, she worked in a lot of places. And I think she had gone to bartending school too, and she worked at some places like that. So dealing with people and some of those things, she laughed when when they did her interview and they wanted to know how she felt with dealing with problem kids, or kids that were kind of challenges. She laughed and she says, well, it couldn't be any harder than dealing with drunk people. She has no fear of that kind of stuff. And I tell you what, she just did so great this last year. She just started like in February. And it wasn't, well, oh yes, and then she had worked at this was why she had signed up to do anything in the first place, was she had friends telling her that they needed help, like with some of the kids that are really struggle and have super duper handicaps. And she had worked at a place that was an adult center where they cared for disabled adults during the daytime. And I mean, she had to do everything. These people were not well at all. And she did feeding tubes. She did the whole 9 yards. And that was what she thought she was going to be doing with kids that were severely handicapped and had problems. And that's what she thought she was doing. When she got to the school for what they put her in, it was dealing with kids who, they call it the pass class. And a lot of these kids have autism. They have other issues. A lot of them, people are tired of dealing with them. And so this is a class, they like to get them into, the regular classes. But, if the kids are just really struggling, they come back to this classroom. And so then there were kids that she would follow around with them and make sure they got to their other classes. And she would work with kids trying to do their homework. And, and then people I think that they say that this is one of the hardest classes for them to keep people in this room, like adults. She did it like a champ, and some people couldn't believe she was going to come back. Let's see here, you guys. What about just a little bit of, let's do a different kind of lace. Okay, that's enough of that storytelling. Hi, Helen. Deborah retired 38 years in corporate accounting in the healthcare industry. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, yes. You work with numbers and you really have to know what's going on, don't you? And me, who knows, I might have some degree of dyslexia. I tell you what, I'll often write stuff backwards like that, or maybe it's something else, who knows. Oh, where did the tiny scissors go I just had? Oh, there they are. And you know what? When all of that was going on, I had a friend who was a teacher, and I was saying, how could somebody get to be this age and nobody ever figure it out until now? And she told me, you know, she goes, there are so many kinds of learning problems, learning disabilities, that she goes, public schools are just not prepared to deal with that. And, you know, and they just can't, they're just not going to find all of the things or make it easy for people that have those issues, which is really a shame. It's really a sad thing. I tell you what, though, it is kind of humorous when the kids really want to kind of press the issue and think they're gonna, you know, come out ahead. Doesn't work like that. Okay. There, we got that little bit of that. I like how that looks with that, you guys. That looks good. I think so anyway. And then I always like to put a tiny bit of this on, just to dab it on and keep it from fraying. It's not going to dab anything. Oh my goodness. That will just get so clogged in just a small amount of time. But just a tiny bit, just to keep it from fraying. And then it's going to glue, or it's going to dry clear. And then sometimes I just do like that so it's not globby looking. And that will be fine. Okay, let's make another little heart or something. Let's make a skinnier one though, to go on the roof for kind of our, I don't know, I still think we need more stuff up here. I don't know what. I think we should use, I'm kind of thinking some more book paper to make a skinny little heart. And I'm just going to do it like this. I'm actually going to cut this part off. And just do the easy way to make a heart. I'm not going to fold it tight. I'm not going to make a fold that's creased. The rest of this paper's in the way. I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try to make it kind of skinny. And I'm actually just going to curve it all the way like that, and then do it inside. Do my little heart shape. And like I said, I don't even mind. Oh, it's not even pointy. There we go. Now it's pointy. Okay. And then we stick it up there. Well, I kind of like that. It's really small, but I think it'll work fine. You guys, I think if you used paper that had maybe more colors and had more of something that was, you know, a little bit more varied in what was on there, it might look better. I don't know, that looks kind of small. You guys think that's too small for our chimney? What do you think? This looks so bland. Why am I having so much trouble? And it's probably because it's so much lighter than this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, well, Deborah, she thinks it's cute. Hey, Sissa. Well, I'm just going to put it like that. And I am going to go ahead and leave it up a tiny bit past the top of the roof. Not much, because this is just a single layer of that old book. And it won't be very sturdy. I should have probably doubled it. But it'll be fine. And if I put it in there like, oh, and on this one, oh, I wish I'd have done this first. I'm going to go around kind of the inside. Aha. Maybe I can get it better like that. You know, some of this stuff would be better if you did it before you put it onto something. Okay. All right, there we go. And it brings it out a little bit like that. And I don't know. Let's see. I've got these cute little flowers. Let's add some flowers down here. Everybody should have some flowers at their door, right? We'll just put some of those down. I'm just going to run a tiny bit of our Fabri-Tac down here. And then just dot them on there. Oh, thanks, Vicky. So I'm just going to put that there. We'll put the light one in the middle. Maybe bump it up a tiny bit. And that gives it a little bit of dimension too, you guys. There we go. We got a little bit of dimension. We've got a house number here. We've got our tiny little heart chimney. I don't know. Maybe, and you know, and you could certainly use just a rectangle. It doesn't have to be a heart, that's for sure. And then our two pockets that we've made in here. Now the one is just short. Let me see. I hope that didn't get stuck in there. I should have used my bone folder. Yeah, so just a little bit of a small pocket here. And you know what? Let's add a little bit of ink to the sides over here, because we didn't bring that in as far. I can't decide if that helps it or makes it or draws more attention to the fact. Well, you know what? I know. There. We'll just do that. Make it a little darker along there. Just pull it down. Okay. So yeah, so two pockets inside, and this one is just that little short one because we just cut it off of here and pulled it down. And then we've got all of our place that we can journal back here. And you could decorate the back of it too, you know, if you wanted it. What is the consensus on darkening the roof? I don't know. Yeah, maybe put some more ink on it, you think? We could do that. We could do that. You know what? Let's do it. Let me grab a bigger blending brush. Let's get a bigger blending brush. So I got a big one. And let's just kind of randomly put it on here. Oh, I think that was a good idea. What do you think? Oh, much better. Oh, great idea, Sue. Oh, don't you guys like that so much better now? And you know, with this stuff like tight in here and the way it's folded, you know, it kind of makes this little thing pop out, and it kind of looks like, you know, like more of an angular, you know, roof, right? I love it. Except I wish I might have to put another one on the back of that. Anyway, I think we need to finish up, you guys. My goodness, I've been on almost an hour. Who would have thought? Who would have thought I'd be on just that long showing you how to make a little house out of an envelope? Okay, you guys, thanks for joining me today. And I'm going to be back tomorrow at the same time. So 3 Eastern, 2 Central. So join me again tomorrow, you guys. We'll do something else for our journal that we're working on, okay? Talk to you later. Have a great afternoon or evening or morning. Some of you, I tell you what, all the time zones just make it kind of crazy to deal with everybody in such different time zones, right, you guys? But thanks for joining me. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.